Hey, what's going on YouTube? Back here with another movie review today, and today I plan on reviewing the movie Late Night. Late Night brought to you by Amazon Studios, and I will say, like, to be honest, like, I was under the weather last week when I originally went to go see this. I'm recording this review a little bit late, but when it comes down to Amazon Studios, that proved me good for taking chances in movies I thought I may not have been totally interested in, but ultimately I end up liking it, and this one did the same. Late Night, which is, I hope I don't call it, I keep wanting to say date night, so if I say date night, let me just full disclaimer, it's Late Night, which kind of came out limitedly I think last week, but ultimately comes out on July 14th, excuse me, June 14th in all theaters, so that'll be the end of this week. But this movie, tons of laughs. It really worked for all ages as well too, as I was in the theater with all ages, and everyone was laughing, having a good time. Again, another movie that expectations of maybe not sure went into it. Amazon Studios again delivered me walking out saying yes. Also too, got a nice book right there. That's pretty cool. Gave away some cool little giveaway merch and stuff, so like that as well. Always like free giveaway stuff. But let me tell you about this movie real quick. So this movie, Katherine Newberry, who's played by Emma Thompson, is basically one of the most legendary and is a pioneer in as a host for late night television talk show in the circuit, and late night television talk show circuit, in which she's won tons of awards, accolades, and she's been doing it over 30 years. Well comfortable within everything she does, her norm, and producing quality material over and over the years, to the point now that now she's facing some scrutiny that she's never faced in her career, being considered a woman who hates women and ultimately not being able to conform with the change of society as far as what viewers want. So ratings are taking the tumble, and all the forms of backlash is coming her way. One of the big thing is that it was also brought to her that she didn't have any female writers on her team, so she put in full affirmative action as on her to-do list, and at this point she met Molly, who's played by Mindy Kaling, who I'm very excited for to see her get more and more opportunity. I think she's absolutely excellent in what she does, and even in this movie she was the writer for it, so it was very, very cool, her being a part of this movie and her contribution to it, and just her continued growth up in Hollywood. But so Molly's the character name, Mindy's obviously a real name, hopefully I don't get that one messed up too. She just came from working at a power plant, and even at a job predominantly ran by the male culture, she found ways to be innovative, and even at times she would practice her comedy during it, which technically didn't give her experience, but she just knew she wanted to do something different. And she took a chance on herself here, and she actually went and applied for this job to be a writer on this talk show, that she's idolized over the years, watched every episode, just knew it in and out. And because of the fact that this writing staff did not have any males, she's been and another thing about Katherine Newberry, she was not really formative with her staff. They kind of worked hands off. They were a team of guys. She had no really clue that she didn't even have any females on her staff, but it was brought to her. She decided to bring them in. Molly, who really didn't have the experience for this field. There was other people, as you've seen in one scene, who might have been more qualified for it, but because of the fact that they needed a female hire, Molly was given a position. Of course, Molly was absolutely just livid with joy that she got this opportunity, something different that she's been praying for, and she's just so happy that she kind of quickly overlooks the fact that she was just there because she was a female hire, but she didn't let it stop her. She stayed courageous, motivated to make an impression in this job field. And even with this hire, that, it still came at a bad timing, as the network really wanted to replace the talk show host because of the low ratings, and actually a part of not being able to adapt to what the viewership is looking for. And Molly really was determined to just prove that she was not merely just a diversity hire, but and to not be uncomfortable within a brotherhood, sort of say, and the all male writing staff, that she could actually be a staple to improving the culture and the ratings and just everything about this position here. And like any challenges in life, when you're deciding to either jump careers or just take a leap of faith in something that you're not totally accustomed to, it comes with challenges. And you seen the challenges between Molly and Katherine of bumping heads. Molly being able to not be afraid to speak how she feel, and Katherine being challenged because no one's ever challenged her. No one ever questioned the means of how she constructed her show and the means of how she ran, the writers and criticism and all that other good stuff. It was both challenging for the two of them. Someone who's not willing to adapt, someone who's willing to come in and try to make a change, and outside of just the stern purpose, the stern messages that's being put here, as far as like where writers are predominantly ran by males, and you see this even now that you don't see too many female writers and stuff, that they still do find a good happy medium to provide a really comedic tone throughout this movie, but still ultimately get this message over. But again, for this movie too, it's not too much I want to get into it about it, because it's a lot of good stuff that happens within this plot. This movie just was fun, and really good acting performances, especially by Emma Thompson, which you would expect. But Mindy, of course, too, just does what she does best. She brightens the mood every single time she's on screen. And there's other good characters as well too. There's even, especially in those the writers meetings, you definitely get a lot of diversity in characters. Each one of the writers, and there's 8 of them, each one of them really plays a different role within this, and I really enjoyed how it was done. But more importantly, I think this is a movie not necessarily that's going to be high on people's radar to go out and go see, but for a fact, this is a movie that I would absolutely rent. I think also, might I add, because it's an Amazon Studios project, it should be releasing on Amazon soon, and which is kind of weird to me, because I'm not quite sure how this all works or whatever. But I know that eventually it's in the theater for a limited release, and then I eventually think it just makes its way to Amazon as an original movie that you can find with having a Prime subscription. So as far as the idea of going out to go see it, I think it makes a great date night type of movie. But nonetheless, it is exactly where it should be as a streaming, as an option for stream online, because again, it's not one of those just rush out and go see it. It is one of those movies that watch it, you're just going to enjoy it for sure. So it's a good safe get, along with the movie which I thought was another good movie that kind of followed this suit of tone of providing a message, but also as well a feel good with a really good comedic tone in Long Shot. I thought that Late Night was just a movie as well that was just really positive, and a great mixture of drama and comedy, relaying the message, but also keeping it feel good, that everyone was truly able to walk out of this movie with a little bit of a motivation to take chances and possibly be open to criticism, just to do some things different. But yeah, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's going to come out in all theaters June 14th. It's out right now limitedly in some theaters, but 100% I think this is a movie that people will like. Maybe not something you want to go out in the theaters and buy, but if in doubt, you've seen everything else, you're looking for something, or you maybe a A-list member or something, so this will be good for you. But again, Late Night, check it out, man. Thanks for tuning in to the review, and catch you next time. Big gold bell.